It wasn't the best event we've done by a long shot. Like in terms of the amount of problems we had with the list, like it was a fucking car crash.
It's kind of cool. Angles will determine the size of.
It's been a hard day's night. Facebook, we are doing a Facebook Live for Heykerwin.
How do you make people step up inside your organization?
How do you make people step up inside your organization? There was Catherine the Great once said, she basically said something to the effect that I only get those to do that which they would already do. And what I mean by that is the way that you get people to step up in any organization, the way that you get anyone to step up in any area of their life is to start to help them correlate the connection between the thing that needs to be done, the thing that's very important to them, and how that thing that needs to be done is going to allow the thing that's very important to them to be even better in their life. So if family is something that's important to them, how will doing this thing allow them to have more quality time with their family? And this is where like real motivation is intrinsic. It's something that's internal, but oftentimes it needs to be triggered by, in some cases, a bit of external direction or an external trigger.
Nice. That's it.
Sweet.
Bye, Facebook.
Bye, Facebook. Bye. Bye-bye. You happy with that?
You're very, very, very happy.
That was good. What am I doing in 18 minutes? Leaders webinar?
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everybody. One of the things that really became apparent for me this year was the importance of influence. Because I think sometimes leadership can happen naturally. And when leadership happens naturally and organically, without a lot of awareness, without a lot of self-awareness, without a lot of tactical insight into what it is that we're doing, it makes it very hard to duplicate. So for me, leadership is about duplicating ourselves and creating more leaders. It is the key element in scale. And the way that we scale organization is by transferring influence and by making other people influential, by developing other people as leaders so that we can actually step back. Now, scaling to a point to where you can step back could happen at one team member, could happen at 3, could happen at 5, could happen at 10. But once you get there, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go beyond that and continually expand. Again, I'm all for pushing the comfort zone, but again, coming back to what's important is what's important. And as long as you're able to scale the business to a point where you're doing what's important, that's what to me is what should matter most. From me to you, Merry Christmas. Thank you for a massive 2018 and to infinity and beyond for 2019. Love you all very much and I'll see you soon. Make sure you say hi to your mum for me. Mwah. Merry Christmas. End webinar? Convert record? Or are you going to do it? Do I have to download it now?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucked. Welcome to our studio.
It's very intimidating. I was just
oh, wow. Don't be intimidated at all. But this is the first time we've actually used it, so it's...
I should feel really privileged.
Yeah, you should. Like, we're busting the cherry.
Like, what could go wrong?
Kids and team aren't that different. The way I discipline a team member would be similar to the way I discipline a child. And I don't mean that in a derogatory context. If anything, I mean that in a more of a conscious context, because you wouldn't go up and smack a team member. Yeah. Or you wouldn't go up, for instance, in my case, I wouldn't go up and yell at my child. If my child does wrong, I would never yell at him. Yeah. Because it's only going to, it's not going to have great consequences. Yeah. And so as a result, we have to discipline our kids in different ways so they understand why they're being disciplined.
So you just do positive reinforcement or rewards?
No. When it comes to discipline, first, it's kind of like it's a strategic process. So first of all, it comes down to alignment. And what I mean by alignment is like we're always hiring people who are aligned with what we do. Yeah. And the first level of alignment is the purpose. So that we're very clear on why we're here as an organization, why we exist. The second thing that we're very clear on is our mission as a company. What is it we're trying to do over a 10-year period? So we have mission objectives, and then we're very clear on what our values are. And our values are almost like our benchmark baseline behaviors, which are what is expected. Yeah. And so when we recruit to those values. Yeah. We recruit to the alignment, and we someone asked me this morning, how do I motivate my team? I said, well, the first thing you do is you hire people who are motivated. Yeah. You hire people who have that intrinsic drive already in them. They just need to be pointed in the right direction. Because if you're trying to motivate someone who doesn't know how to motivate themselves, then you've got codependence. Yeah. If that makes sense. What I've learned as a leader, the more able you are to have really deep and vulnerable conversations with your team, the more they trust you and the better they'll perform. Yeah. You probably don't watch K-Day, but if you watch K-Day, you'll...
I don't watch TV.
Well, K-Day's on YouTube. So it's my vlog. It's basically my vlog, and it's...
I listen to your podcast.
Okay. But in the vlog, especially the earlier episodes, the first 20, 30 episodes, it is jammed full of leadership lessons because it's just me having one tough conversation after another with my team. It's all over the desk. It's soap.
At least the desk is clean.
It's all clean now. Smelling fresh.
Mastermind December Debrief 2018. Oh.
Like, we had one comment for this. But because if, let's just say we go back to this document 12 months from now, let's say Claire's gone on and she's now managing, you know, the Cricket Australia. And someone was to review this, to go back and go, well, let's review. They'd look at that and go, oh, fuck, wow, that was actually a real issue. No, one person said it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It wasn't the best event we've done by a long shot. Like, in terms of the amount of problems we had with the list, like, it was a fucking car crash. But what was really good was the front end of the event was brilliant. Like, it's it's probably the best event that we've run from a front end perspective ever. Like, the quality of the speakers, the feedback we had from the clients, absolutely sensational. But I think there's a good balance there. It was a brilliant event. It was a great event at the front end, but we still got a lot of work to do on the back end.
25 minutes, we have FGS debrief. Yay!
Thank you so much for your time.
That's all right, no dramas. All right, and you're looking for 3 to 5 minutes. What's your...
Whatever
Whatever it takes.
I'm sure you won't go over 8. It doesn't really matter.
Hey everybody, Kerwin Ray here. And look, when John asked me to do this, first of all, I was incredibly grateful. John is an icon in the field of real estate and finance. So first things first, you've got to be clear on your why. And even Jim Rowan himself even said, when the why is big enough, the how is easy. And the why for me is purpose. It's a motive, you know, and a purpose is a reason why. It's a motive, and motive is the root word for motivation. And if you want to be motivated, you've got to have a reason, and your reason is your purpose. But then once we have a purpose, we've got to have direction. We've got to have a goal, because, you know, I actually think it was Jim Rowan. No, it was Brian Tracy who said, if you take an idiot and you motivate him, what have you got? You've got a motivated idiot. So if you take someone and you give them purpose, but they've got no education, they've got no direction, what have you got? You've got someone who's motivated, but they don't know where to actually put that energy. They don't know where to focus that drive in order to be productive, you know, as a human being. So for me, it's becoming very clear on not only what drives you, not only why you do what you want to do, but what are the things that you want to be completing this year. So for me, in our organisation, even for me personally, I always set a list of priorities. Some people call them goals. I don't call them goals, I call them priorities, because to me, I want to create a list of priorities every single year that by the end of the year, I'm going to be actually ticking them off as I go through. Happy with that?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
All right. Bye, kids. Bye. See you tomorrow.